Boy. Took us a minute to get started. We're getting started a little bit late, but we had to come to you to let you know that going back in studio next week is looking very positive for us. So stay tuned. We will be going back to the 2 o'clock hour with the Blazing Radio. And as I always start off, a glorious good afternoon and welcome to We the People. We come to you each and every Thursday in the 2 o'clock hour, and we're still in the 2 o'clock hour, even though we're starting late, to let you know that you have power and say so in the government. Now, as Malcolm X once said, education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, government impacts us 24/7, 365. So we have to get smarter about it. I'm your hostess, or your host, right? Angela Taylor. And I'm here with, again, get the yellow sticky. Put this name on it and tag it to your refrigerator. If you don't see that name on the ballot, there is a place where you can write it in. We absolutely, positively need people who give a damn about the community. We need those folks in government. And as I said, you can see Michaela McCrae's picture there in the background. She will be back in studio with us. But I want to take this opportunity to let folks know, especially in Southern Virginia and in North Carolina, that she will be speaking. She's the keynote speaker on next Saturday, February the 17th. Her subject, and you've heard her talk about it on our show, is a cry for community, improving what we do in our community. Now, as I shared with you earlier, there are two Kwanzaa principles that speak to that, and that's Ujima and Kumba. We have to take our brothers and sisters' problems and make them our own and work to resolve those issues. That is part of what Dr. Malana Karanga wants us to do 24/7, 365. Those 7 days between Christmas and New Year's are just a reminder for you to exercise that in your household. Now, before we get started, because again, we're going to do a Cliff Notes version of our show today. We have Paul Montero, who has two programs. What does that say? What does that say? Service Year Option Program. And the Maryland Corps for folks in the state. Now, the senior year option is for folks who had to go through the Zoom school, if you will. They're offering assistance as it relates to that. And the Maryland Corps is for folks who are beyond high school, who don't have to have a diploma or anything like that, but who just want to give a little more in service to the county and the state. All you need to do is to get information about these programs and how you can benefit them and they can benefit you, is to text the word Maryland to 21,000. That's texting the word Maryland to 21000, and you will immediately get a link and see what you need to do to take advantage of what the governor's office has offered. Thing number two, there's still $10,000 worth of scholarship money. The due date is coming. It's the end of the month. And the application has to be postmarked by the last day of the month. And that is $10,000 worth of scholarship money, to $5,000 worth of scholarships to graduating seniors who have expressed an interest in helping the disabled and the mentally challenged when they come out of school. So with that, we're going to move on into the meat and potatoes of what we want to talk about. This permit issue and, oh my God, the county council. So I'm going to turn it over to who I'm going to write in for county executive if she don't show up, who I'm going to door knock for, whether she wants me to, well, she wants me to. I'm a door knock for in my community because I know where her heart is. And she has shown you through these shows where her heart is, because we ain't got to do this, but there is a need in the marketplace for this information. So I'm gonna turn the mic over to Tanya Sweat again. Get that yellow sticky and stick it to your refrigerator, because election day is coming up, primary day is coming up.
Yes. Hello, family. Hello. Miss Angela.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Angela gave me a homework assignment, y'all. I love her. She gave me a homework assignment. I was reading this Office of the Inspector General report regarding
Yes.
The Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission and how we put money into this commission from our taxpayer dollars. I learned something new.
Okay.
Now, I've always known, because it's on my tax bill every year, that a part of my real estate taxes goes to fund the commission.
Right.
I knew that. I'm okay with that.
Because
I understand what that commission was set up for.
Right.
What I didn't know.
Hashtag me too, but let's go get it.
What I didn't know is that there's this contract, if you will, in place between the county and the commission for the commission to basically reimburse the county for services that the county provides that my dumb behind thought the commission was providing.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a little bit more digging and research on this reimbursement charge, because it appears that this is unique to just Prince George's County.
It is. It is. It seems like everyone else in America, well, not in America, but in in the state, knows or has read the guidelines that the Maryland National the Parks and Planning has, except us.
Except us. So this is the deal. Just so everybody understands, I'm gonna give you a baseline foundation.
Okay.
The Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission is a creation of state law.
Right. Okay.
And it was created because Montgomery County and Prince George's County sit right on the border of the District of Columbia.
Right.
And there was this concern way back when, because the commission has been around for a long time. There was a concern that the two counties were too dissimilar.
Okay.
And the federal government had a concern about the mega distinction between those two counties when you cross that border. They didn't like what it looked like in essence.
I got you.
So you go to Montgomery County, and still to this day, they got beautiful parks. And I'm not just talking about walkable green places, y'all. I'm literally talking about they have rec centers over there. They have parks with jungle gyms and equipment for the children to play on. It's open to the public. It's in constant use in the summertime.
Right.
Because those families, they get out and about. They take the kids out. They play outside. They do the stuff that you don't necessarily see happening in Prince George's County for some reason. And so the goal of the federal government and the state government was to make sure both counties had similar facilities and recreational services. Within the commission, you have two distinct parks and recreation divisions. One for Montgomery County, one for Prince George's County. Do those divisions run the same? I'm here to tell you, no.
No. Clearly they don't.
No.
I can tell you my story after this, but go ahead.
So I started, and I've studied the commission because I had a whole lot of questions about how do we have rec centers in some communities and in others we don't.
Don't, exactly.
I live in Akakeek. The closest rec center to Akakeek is Fort Washington, 5 miles away.
Wow.
And I always had an issue with that because they're getting a big chunk, 29 cents of every $1,000 or something like that. They're getting a big chunk of my tax dollars, and my children don't have a rec center to go to. My children can't walk to a rec center.
Right.
Now, I understand that there was no rec center in Akakeek because for a long time we were not very populated. It was farmland, it was rural, it was country. I get it. But the county keeps approving the development of all these damn houses and is bringing more kids. We need a rec center.
Right.
And there's still raw land in Akakeek. There's a place for them to build a rec center. Why do I have to drive my child
5 miles?
No, not even 5 miles. My children want to go swimming. Do you know where I take my kids swimming?
Where?
If we don't go out of the state completely and go on vacation, the closest place to do an indoor pool is in Charles County, Lackey High School.
Wow.
Or I have to drive my children over to Allentown Road.
Road. Yeah.
There's a problem there.
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
Now, Simmons has a community pool that's maintained by their HOA.
Yeah.
You don't live in that community, you can't use that pool.
Right.
My Own Preserves, they have a pool for their community, but again, they're paying high behind HOA dues to provide a lifeguard, pay the insurance, and maintain those pools. So you don't live there, you can't go.
Right. Right. Right.
Fortunately for my children, they've had friends that lived in both communities and they've been invited as a guest.
Right.
My tax dollars should provide a rec center like they built in Brandywine with a pool and the basketball gym and all these other facilities for the children of Akakeek to use. We're not a municipality. We're in this county.
Right, right, right.
But when you ask that, they say, no, you just have to go to one of the, what? Don't tell me where I gotta go. 5 miles is too damn far to drive. And my child can't even ride the bicycle 5 miles. It ain't safe on Indian Hill Highway.
No, it is not. Now, they have they done anything to resolve some of those, I know, sidebar, to resolve some of those traffic issues that they've had on Indian Hill Highway?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
The Indian Head Highway piece, it was approved about, I dare say, 5 years ago to expand Indian Head Highway into a freeway. We're going to take out all the stoplights and then build overpasses. So you have exit on ramps, off ramps, which would have made it a little bit safer.
I get it.
They did one interchange. The first interchange off of the Beltway at Kirby Hill Road.
Yeah, I know.
Livingston
That's
Road.
the one.
Yes. And after that interchange was completed, I'm president. Lord help me, Jesus. The devil is a liar. Governor Hogan said that's as far as you're gonna go. He took the rest of the money to build a nice bridge across the Potomac River in Charles County. 301.
Wow.
So the safety expansion for 210 has come to a halt. And most of the people who live off.
Wait a minute, time out. You said the safety expansion.
It was for safety reasons. It stopped.
Okay.
But they're building more houses out that way. The traffic is horrific, and with all of those stoplights, it's a madhouse.
Now, Oxon Hill is in Councilman District 9, correct?
It's in 8.
It's in 8. Okay. Now, in 8, Westphalia, I believe, is in 8 too. Am I correct or incorrect?
Westphalia is in,
it's in 8 or 9. It's in one of those.
Derek Davis used to be the councilman from, I want to say, why do I want to say?
I thought Derek Davis was 6.
Look, but they redrew the damn line since then, so that don't even count. I would have to look at the map because they redo the lines. So Westphalia might be in 9 now, believe it or not.
Okay, because I do know. Do you know anything, or because I haven't seen anything in writing anywhere about the battery dump that's supposed to go in Councilmanic District 8?
Oh, Lord Jesus. Yes, on Livingston Road, Oxon Hill. The communities over there have fought that long and hard, and I've helped them as much as I could contribute. It's gotten really quiet.
Yeah, but Westphalia folks didn't even know about it until I told them.
Right. And that's what happens. It's divide and conquer. What happens in one district is not necessarily communicated to another district, even though you might be impacted. And because Pepco said if there was an explosion, it would only impact a 5-mile radius. There are people in District 9. I'm in 9. Akakeek is in 9. There are people in District 9 who didn't even know about that battery storage facility. And I had to educate them. Because guess what? Even though we're outside that 5-mile radius, where do you think the people are going to go?
Exactly. That's thing number one. But thing number two, you have the it's in the ground.
Right.
That stuff goes into the ground. I just keep thinking about Aaron Brockovich.
Groundwater, the smoke from a fire will drift. If it drifted from Canada.
Yeah. And you can see it outside my window here.
Yes.
And they tell me to stay in the house
Yes.
here because of stuff that's happening in Canada. I get it.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that's my issue.
Uh-huh.
Communication in this county. But they
Mhm.
don't want communication in the county because if you don't know about it, you can't challenge it.
Mhm.
Let's just keep it real.
Yeah. But again, this is why we're doing what we do.
Mhm.
Everybody ought to have their county council, their district
Yep.
rep in their phone, and their at-large reps in their phone. That's
Mhm.
public information. You can find it on the internet.
Mhm.
For me, I got my U.S. senators, my House of Representatives person, my
Your state delegate,
yeah,
your state
my
senator.
state delegate. I got all that in my cell
Mhm.
phone. Y'all should have that in your cell phone and start burning up these numbers because again, we have the problems that we have, the challenges, the issues, if you will, that we have because of what Tanya said. Don't nobody want to communicate because if you don't know, you can't do nothing.
You can't do a thing about it. Or when you finally find out, it's too late to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole school thing. Lord, I hate going back to that whole school.
No, please, yeah, go back to that because I saw some stuff about that online too.
I mean, the whole Colin Powell thing.
Mm-hmm.
By the time people knew it was coming, it was too late. And I told them,
mm-hmm.
if you're going to fight, fight. But understand, once they break ground and pour the foundation,
Mm-hmm.
the fight's over. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, the fight that they picked was the wrong issue. Mm-hmm. So here we go.
Mm-hmm. But again, we still have teacher shortage.
Yes.
You know, you build all of these schools, these nice, fine, state-of-the-art facilities. Who are you going to man them with or woman them with? Who are you going to do that with?
Right.
You have administrators still, or as of the end of the 2023 school year, 2022 to 2023 school year,
right?
You had folks who were putting anybody in front of a classroom, and you had administrators telling the teachers what they could and could not do in their classrooms.
Right.
That is freaking crazy because again, teachers have to see a good teacher, has to see what you don't know before she introduces something new. But you have Upper Marlboro, and I'm talking about Maxwell specifically, and Golston kind of on the side, telling folks, no, you have to basically, and I'm paraphrasing, you have to teach what I say teach, or you don't have a job. This is why we have teacher apathy for those who stayed, and teacher shortage for the good ones who left. But it's up to us. Ain't nobody gonna save us. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing about none of this stuff but us. And we gotta get busy and be about the business of doing those kinds of things. Yes. So go back to the school.
Okay. So we're gonna go back to the Parks and Rec thing. Okay. And it ties into the school. I'm glad you mentioned it because the one thing I noticed is they don't discuss this in this report. And it probably means that the OIG didn't even know this is a problem. But
the OIG kept asking for information from the county council and crickets. That's what she said in the hearing. Yeah. She wasn't hearing back from folks. And then you had council members Burrow and Oriata getting pissed off when they were the ones who were supposed to put whatever procedures in place to give this money away.
Right. So this is the kicker. We pay a part of, those of us who own homes pay a part of our real estate taxes to the commission. But then for services that are provided by the county that are supposed to be provided by the commission, Parks and Recs division, Parks and Recs has to reimburse the county for those services.
Okay.
That's the piece of this that was new to me. I said, huh? So, and the report is short. This is like one of the shortest IG reports, 34 pages I think I've ever seen in my career. And if she's not getting information, I understand why it's short. But you've got people listed like Reed Temple Christian Academy. And I'm going to get in trouble because I was raised AME in the church, but I'm going to go there. So Reed Temple AME Church was reimbursed $100,000 from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And then their Christian, their Christian Academy was reimbursed $2.3 million.
Wait a minute, Tom.
I'm sorry. Didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't, because
Yeah.
I didn't print. I did not print it out.
Oh, I gotta go.
Going to
Didn't I tell you I was gonna print this out because I had to read this thing?
You did. I was
Yes,
just
ma'am.
listening to it.
Reimbursements. There were literally $14 million of reimbursements from our tax dollars from the commission back to either the county, a county agency, a municipality, or a nonprofit.
Right, because this is because it's 11 folks all told.
Yes.
Okay, it says Calvin Hawkins, and that's one thing. That's a question that he and I would have asked had I been there. 6 folks on the council, 6 members of the county council, took $14 million from parks and planning. And when the IG person cited them for lack of transparency, what is the council's outreach and team built? I mean, what do they do with that money? What guidelines did they do to give that money to these people? They couldn't provide it, so they tried to turn the tables on them, saying that it was rife with errors. I know one, Jones House. I know that woman. And the IG person said she found the only place she could find that was in the District of Columbia. That's not supposed to cross lines, is it?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Our tax dollars are not supposed to leave the jurisdiction.
Okay.
It's for the state of Maryland and the county of Prince George's. If you live in a municipality, municipalities charge an additional tax.
So, say for instance, Bladensburg is
Correct.
in Prince George's County.
Yes.
So
you got a county tax and you got a municipal tax.
Okay. So, folks, what are we going to do about this? Because I also, one thing that was cited, Kappa Epsilon Lambda Foundation was approved by the council, but no information on the scope of work that they did, the location of where they are, because she was trying to reach out to them and she couldn't find a location. And, use of funds, all of that stuff wasn't there. Now, Dernoga said something about, he accepted responsibility for a lack of transparency. And all you could hear, crickets. Nobody said anything other than, what's the guy with the mixed gray hair? Stevenson said, oh, you talking, basically paraphrasing again, you talking too much, we got to go kind of. But these, but
it's on video, she ain't lying.
Okay. But these are the kinds of things that, for me, and to my mind, it should be for everybody. If you put money in, you have every right to know where that money is going.
And who's getting the services.
Yeah, who's getting
Parks
the services?
and Recs are supposed to ensure that everybody, not just the children, everybody in Prince George's County have equal access to recreational facilities and services. And when you gonna tell me Parks and Recs can't do the job, so we had churches, community organizations,
fraternities, Divine Nine folks,
municipalities, and the county had to do their job. So we charged them to get reimbursed for the tax dollars that they were paying to them to do the job. Who broken? Is it Parks and Recs that is broken, or is it the counties? What's really going on here?
Okay, the way that what I gleaned from that is that the county council is the broken piece. That's what I got, because Parks and Recs has something in place. They might be general, but they have something in place. To my mind, and only to my mind, it's the county council's responsibility to put the specifics on money that they just doling out.
Look ahead, and there's something to that thought.
Okay.
And you know why I say there's something to that part, that thought? Because the Office of the Inspector General who did this report was in the commission. Prince George's County Park and Rec, OIG. Yeah. This is the OIG for the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission.
They said that
they're exposing us, people.
So what you gonna say?
They're exposing us. And let me tell you, That crap in the county council meeting was the same thing they just tried to do to me in the media, WTOP. Read the article.
Oh, yes, sir. I shared that.
I helped one of my clients write a press release about what's happening to them, volunteer firefighters. And what they said was the 6-page press release was full of inaccurate legal interpretation. I didn't interpret anything. I quoted your policy documents.
Yeah, but here's another thing too. Who on that? I don't know who on that county council is an attorney. I'm sure there has to be one or two, or I would like to.
Mr. DeNova is an attorney. He's a real estate attorney, though.
Okay. That doesn't count.
That's the only one. Oh, she said it doesn't count. I think he's the only one.
Okay, yeah. Well, at least he would know where to look for.
So when you start trying to discredit people who are doing their job,
know your stuff. Know who your stuff.
When the lady testifies, I didn't get cooperation from you, so I couldn't fully do what I was chartered and authorized to do. I couldn't fully vet your process. Do not look at her and say you're wrong because you don't know what you're doing. That's to deflect off to the fact that apparently you're doing something wrong and you don't want to be outed. This report right here says a whole lot.
Yeah.
When I started looking at the dollars and the cents, because I chased the money. Lord, I chased the money. I went, huh? Who did this out of these people?
Yeah.
This where my money going?
And this is another thing too. All this money that we're giving out, because again, my taxes have gone up for almost $2,000 since Austin Brooks has been in office. And the milk ain't clean. I'm not a lawyer, but I know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And if we're getting fewer services and you're taking more money, that does not compute. That don't compute to me.
And I'm looking at this going, I know where some of these places are. I've been to some of these places. I have seen what they do with my own 2 eyes. Some of these I have no objections to. Others of these on this list, I'm concerned. Why is the Prince George's County Council charging Parks and Recs $250,000 for outreach facilities and etc.?
Etc.
Why is the Prince George's County Council charging Parks and Recs $100,000 for Team Builders program? Children was in that program from this county.
You see, I'm looking at you like you're a science project because I have.
Y'all, I'm just reading. Miss Angela, you know I told you. I'm coming with receipts. Okay. I don't make this stuff up. I'm reading this going, why?
Oh, I'm going to copy that as soon as we're done here.
Why? Why?
I give. Why?
I ain't never seen an and I could keep saying my child could participate in a team builders program. Because shit, I'd have been the first person running the site.
Oh my goodness. And schools and I just so happened to have gone into my grandson's Canvas account where his school is offering that team building apprenticeship programs. His school is offering that. Now, how does that fall under Parks and Recreation? If in fact it does. I would not think it does.
I'm confused. I swear I'm confused right now. And there's some other names on here. I'm not gonna call them. I really don't, because I've always had my suspicions about some of these organizations. I thought they were money laundering entities. So I ain't gonna call them names because I don't want to be accused of defaming anybody's organization. But I'm going, are you serious?
Okay. But when you express an opinion, that falls under your First Amendment guidelines. Look,
it does, but I have to be careful because people that try to sue you for defamation, and I ain't got time for the foolishness. I really don't. Yeah, but some of the names on the list, I'm going, always suspected these organizations to be
Mhm.
money laundering organizations, and I wish the criminal entities would come on in and take a
Mhm.
look. But like I said, I'm not gonna call the names of them people on this
Well,
list.
you know, I'm gonna ask you soon.
Yeah, we'll talk
Okay.
offline. I'm not gonna. Yeah, but I'm looking at this going,
Uh-huh.
really? The Prince George's County African American History Museum. Now, there's a story behind that. I'm gonna share that one. That one I'm gonna call out because
Yeah,
I
I
look
went. They. Wait a minute, where did I see that? That's over here.
going
in,
toward Bladensburg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
off of Kenilworth Avenue.
Yeah.
Go by there regularly, and it always looks like it's dark and closed.
Because it is. No, because I was gonna go in. You know, I am about
Look.
Black history. I was gonna go.
Yeah,
I was surprised that it
look.
was there.
They on the list too.
Mhm.
But let me tell you about that entity. That was created by Mr. Johnson.
Jack Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, enough said. For me.
No, but
Maybe not for
no,
them.
there's more behind the story because we
Uh-huh.
didn't need that.
No.
It needs to be abolished.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever gone to the National African American History Museum down in on the mall, the Smithsonian?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen anything about Prince George's County in that damn museum?
Only wait a minute. I have not Prince George's County, Montgomery County. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know why that is?
No. Take me to school.
I'm gonna take you to school. Y'all know I talk to everybody.
Uh-huh.
When they were building the museum,
Mm-hmm.
the curator staff contacted Mr. Johnson and asked for contributions from Prince George's County.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, Prince George's County was the most affluent
Yeah.
African American community
Mm-hmm.
in these United States.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought it would be proper and appropriate to
Mhm.
recognize the county in the
Mhm.
museum. The former county executive
Mm-hmm.
felt like
Which form? You talking about Jack
Judge Johnson.
Okay, all right. Just because
Judge
you got a
Johnson.
few more crooks behind them.
They wanted to even acknowledge the late Wayne Curry
Mm-hmm.
as the first African American county executive
Mm-hmm.
in this county, in the National Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Johnson felt like that was not necessary, and we could do our own museum. And that's how the Prince.
Is that why that?
That's why that little storefront
Yeah.
came to be. Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am. So when you go to the Smithsonian, and we've all run down there because we're so proud of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Our home county ain't even
It's
mentioned.
not that. Yeah, Montgomery County is.
Ain't
definitely
even mentioned.
there. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Really?
Okay, so let me ask you this, because if anyone knows, I believe you do. Is money still going toward that African American museum, or who? It is. Oh my God!
In the county, that little storefront in the county is
yeah,
money.
that little trailer park looking thing.
Yeah, it's listed as one of the entities that Parks and Recs is reimbursing the county for. Yes, ma'am. And you can't even walk up in that mug and see anything on the wall.
No, you can't, because when we were trying to go in. It was a fence. It was closed.
It's listed in the report. The county got money for it. That's the only reason why I brought it up.
Uh-huh.
I had to.
Yeah.
Because when I tell you I've ridden by there often.
Yeah. We tried to go.
I was so excited when they redid downtown Hyattsville, the arts district.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, this is wonderful. Let's go see it. Took
Mhm.
the family down there. We walking the streets of Hyattsville, went to bus boys and poets and coming back. I said, oh, African.
And
Shit, I didn't even know we had that in the county.
Yeah,
I stopped by that damn and couldn't go in. It was dark. It was
Yeah.
closed. And I said, I got to do it. Y'all.
Well,
My
at least
curious mind.
because it was a fence when I saw it, and the fence was closed.
My little curious mind, Curious George, I
Mhm.
am. I had to go do a little research. Why is this here? And I can't even go inside and take a look.
Oh my God!
So then, yeah, that's when I found out. And I was like, oh, okay. And I kept saying, I wonder if we paying for this. Well, now I know. Yep. Right here in the document. Yep.
Right.
We paying. Let me see if I can find that number real quick. This is distressing.
And
This is distressing to
Yeah.
me. It's distressing. I have to.
it's
be honest.
especially distressing to me because I did attempt to, when I saw the sign for it, I was with my grandchildren. Oh, let's go around and go in. The chain link fence that was closed.
Yeah, and
around.
these are
This was-
FY20.
This was just last year.
Look, and these are FY24 charges. These are current charges. So if they get money according to this year, how much money they got years past?
Yes.
And you can't even go in there and see nothing about your African American history in Prince George County. I'm hurt. I'm distraught. I'm confused. I'm perplexed. I'm
Mhm.
disappointed. I
This
ain't
was-
got to angry yet,
Mhm.
but give me 5 minutes, because when I figure out how much of my money, then I'm gonna get angry. I'm getting there. I'm working on it.
Uh-huh.
This is crazy. This is
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
Where can because I posted it on my page. Where can folks
Well, how you get this report?
uh
Thank you. Your post helped me.
mhm,
The link that Miss Angela posted on her page takes you to the county council's webpage,
right, okay.
because it takes you to the video recording of the meeting.
Right.
What you have to do is just below the video itself, there's another link
Mm-hmm.
for this agenda item.
Okay.
When you click
yeah.
that link, it takes you to the page that has this report.
Okay.
And I printed it off. Because for every agenda item that the county council considers, there are always some more supporting documents.
Yeah.
And I told you, I'm going to find that damn report.
You did say that.
And so I
Yeah, you
said,
did.
oh, this was on the agenda. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
This was the attachment to the agenda for the county council. Yeah. I'm just,
Guys, we have to see. We got to question these folks. This is our money.
the African American Museum and Cultural Center gets $25,000 this year.
25,000. Okay.
In reimbursement from Parks and Rec.
Wait a minute, in reimbursement. So
Yes,
that
this
means
is-
that they've done
The
something.
tax money comes out.
Uh-huh.
The county council says the Parks and Rec gets this amount of money in the budget and gives it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the county council goes and says, for this museum, you got to give us $25,000
Mhm.
back.
Yeah.
So when you get that money reimbursed back,
Uh-huh.
what benefit am I getting from this museum?
Okay, well, it also says, this is what she said, the auditor said. Let me see, where's my note? My notes. Well, their note said the same thing that they said. It's really nothing there for her to not gonna say judge, for lack of a better word. There's nothing specific there that says this money is going to go for, let's say, painting the walls or whatever. It's nothing there. It's just like this money goes here, and there's no specific.
Because there were no responses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
Because trust you me,
Uh-huh.
if she asked for the information, if it had been provided, this report would be more than 34 pages. It would be a book.
Yeah. Okay.
Most OIG reports,
Mhm.
go to the federal government's OIG reports, they're usually hundreds of freaking pages long.
Well, no, I have a niece who was IG for the Department of Defense, and yeah.
They hundreds of
Yeah.
pages.
Mhm.
And most of the time, all you want to do is read the executive summary and a
Mhm.
summary of the findings and recommendations, because you don't want to read all the evidence they've
Yeah,
looked at.
Mhm.
And I've actually read from cover to cover
Mhm.
and go, well, damn, y'all go digging into places I didn't even know
No,
existed.
Yeah.
But if the lady, on the record, y'all got to listen to the video.
Mhm.
And Miss Angela's so kind because she went right to the spot.
Right,
You
yeah.
don't even have to watch the whole 2-hour meeting.
Right.
She took you right to the spot where they discussed this.
Yeah.
You got to listen to that. The lady says clearly she
Mhm.
asked for the information
Right.
and got nothing.
Mhm.
Not even we ain't gonna respond.
Mhm.
Not we don't have records to give you.
Right.
She got nada,
Mhm.
nil, nothing. And I tell you, our county does that regularly
Mhm.
because I have written letters to county officials and never got an answer.
Mhm.
And when you call them out in public, they say, oh, I didn't know anything about that. You didn't? I sent your ass a letter 3 months ago. Here
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
And then they look at you like you're crazy.
Mhm.
You mean you didn't read my letter?
Mhm.
So I got funky with it. I started hand delivering my stuff, so I know they was getting it. Because You might not have read my email.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Postal Service ain't as reliable as it used to be. So let me walk
Right.
my shit into you.
Yeah.
And it's, I didn't get that. You didn't?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hand delivered it to your office, to your assistant, your secretary. They don't. So I do know county people don't answer.
Yeah. When we went to the Hill, we took a clipboard and had somebody sign for our stuff. So, but usually on the Hill, they were a lot more responsive than they are out here. Okay, at least you get the courtesy.
Well, these
of
folk
the
out here don't
response.
work for us. So
Mhm.
what the hell? They don't feel like they have to respond.
They
And we so bold, we don't even demand it.
well that this is why again, this is why this stuff keeps happening because we, the people, don't ask the question. We, the people, don't hold these folks accountable. We don't take them to task.
And we'll stand up and say, but they're doing such a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I cringe every time I hear somebody say that.
Well, I haven't heard anybody say that. I've heard the complaints. I've heard so many complaints. And I said, well, what did you do? Or what are you going to do about it? And then the crickets.
And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I don't want to be negative about the place that I call home.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see stuff like this and you messing with my money,
yeah, I get it. You're not being a Debbie Downer. You are a truth teller. That is why I continue to point that you need to be in public office.
this is my money.
Yeah.
This is my money.
Yeah. Okay.
Government of the people.
Mm-hmm.
For the people. By the people.
That's the piece that these Bamas can't seem to wrap.
Bama, you work for me.
Yeah, exactly.
But because my one little measly vote ain't enough to get your ass out of office, you don't feel like you gotta answer me. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna make some noise.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna make some noise. We're gonna make some noise. I took that list of council meetings and I am going to circulate it. And I'm going to start going to some.
We gotta start paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff has been happening too long.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad to know the rumblings in the community is that people are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's her name? Tanya Wingfield's page. That accountability for government.
Yes.
Council accountability for governance. You all need to go to that page and just look through it. And again, as I said the other week, you need to take 30 minutes and look at your local and national news. You need to do that because if you don't know, you can't take any action steps. But you have to pay attention. Mm-hmm. You have to look at what's happening around you. If you don't like what you see, whoever is sitting in that office, whoever's sitting in an elected office is responsible to you. They are accountable to you. If you don't say anything to them, they ain't gonna know what you think and they ain't gonna know how you feeling. It's up to us. Ain't nobody gonna save us but us. And again, ain't nobody gonna know what you thinking until you tell them. Mm-hmm. And the information, again, to access these individuals is public information. We got to say something. Mm-hmm. We got to say something. So
and understand what you get in the press mm-hmm. is not accurate.
Mm-hmm. Not always.
Not ever about Prince George's County.
Oh, okay.
Not ever mm-hmm. about this county. Mm-hmm. Because what they do is, and reporters have confessed this to me, they admit it openly. Mm-hmm. They'll talk to you, then they immediately go back to the county's public affairs office mm-hmm. and say, this is what such and such and such and such and such said. Mm-hmm. And the county will do one or two things. Mm-hmm. They'll pull the plug on the interview and say, nope, don't run the story at all. Mm-hmm. If you do, you won't ever get an exclusive again.
Right.
Or they'll come back and say, well, that person's misrepresenting the facts. That person's confused. That person doesn't understand how things work. That person is giving you an incorrect legal interpretation.
I didn't get that when but this was a few years back with Tracy Wilkins. I didn't get that from her.
That depends upon what the subject matter
It
was
is.
and who was being attacked.
Okay.
If you were attacking one of their political enemies, then they're gonna let you say what you want to say
Okay.
because they won't take that person down. But if you're attacking their county government at its foundation,
Mm-hmm.
they'll make you look like you confused, senile,
Mm-hmm.
uneducated, and don't know what's going
So
on.
what's the answer to this then?
We need a change in leadership in this county, period.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We need to stop recycling these politicians,
Right. Okay.
period.
Mm-hmm.
We need to understand that there are people who live in this county
Mm-hmm.
who are smart,
Mm-hmm.
who can run the county,
Mm-hmm.
who know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stop this. Well, that's my friend.
Mm-hmm.
I went to school with her.
Mm-hmm.
I know him. We go to church together.
Mm-hmm.
Stop that foolishness.
Mm-hmm. Or you're on the church rolls because you.
Because let me tell you.
Some people don't go to church. They say I am a member of, which is not a lie, but your ass don't go.
Your high school classmate might look good in that picture sitting on your desk, but your high school classmate is the very same person who's causing you to pay $10,000 in taxes every year.
Mm-hmm.
And don't flinch. Don't even think twice about it.
Well, here's what I will say on camera, and I'm going to say it next week too. We have Divine Niners folks, and I'm going to say specifically Delta Sigma Theta folks, who sit at the top of the county and who are on the county council. Angela also Brooks, Delta, Blagay, Walla Blagay, Delta. I contend that Soros, Lynette Taylor, God rest her soul, and Frances Flippin, Soror Taylor will be turning over in her grave to see what you guys are doing just to another human being. You know, I contend that there's got to be something more. You just can't lean on the shield. There are some things that are more important than loyalty to that organization, and it's loyalty to humanity. I have something on my wisdom wall that I am going to read to you. There is a higher law than the law of government. It is the law of constance, wisdom, and integrity. This is what you guys, you Divine Niners, who have been told to support Angela also Brooks. Yeah, I know some folks who are way up there and told me that when they met with the vice president, she told you guys to support her. If she's doing a bad job at the local and the state level, don't send her to a national level. She's doing a bad job. You can kick it with the sister, have at it. But if you know that this person is doing the wrong thing, and as is evidenced by that report, because I contend that the speed of the leader is the speed of the team, you need to change leadership. You got to change leadership. So pay attention, get these numbers in your phone, and question. And again, like Tanya said, you know, reporters may try to flip the script when you talk to them. You can make, if you want to make a change, you can make it. If you find your why, you can endure almost any how. That is what we have to do. The why is we got to get corruption out of this county. We have to get people in office who care about the community, who care about their neighbor. That we have been so desensitized. We gotta push that. We gotta throw that stuff off of us and pay attention to values and what's right. You know what's right. You know it ain't right for people to be getting $25,000
for a building that ain't got the lights turned on.
For a condemned building. You already know that. You know that that the custodian or the cafeteria worker should not be covering a class that, you know, should not be covering instruction.
Getting paid an extra $100 a day to be a glorified babysitter.
Yeah, that's it. You know that. So what you know that when you send your 6-year-old mentally challenged child or special needs child, excuse me, to school, if it's and he's in a class of 5 or 6 people and you got 2 folks there, your kid should not be coming home beat up. You know that. What you gonna do? And that is my question to you from now on until I see a change, because I know what I'm doing. I know write a letter. I know that I'm gonna send Jolene Ivy an email. I'm gonna call her assistant, Nikki Greco, because I need some clarity on this stuff, because this stuff is in my community. Somebody got to tell me something. I know that the folks who are, and this is just based on this, I pay attention to more stuff, but if you just listen to this one meeting, you gonna know something in the milk ain't clean, and you got to do something about it. So with that, because I got to go pick up a baby by 4 o'clock. And again, we're gonna be back in studio next week.
I'm on my calendar.
We're gonna be back in studio next week. Oh, before we go out, the Supreme Court. This is not Prince George's County. The Supreme Court is listening to whether Trump should be on the ballot. Now,
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado has started some stuff. Maine and everybody's is falling behind. But for those of you who have, I guess, in your age group or my age group, you remember William Rehnquist was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court from 86 to 2005. And that's when they started tampering with and I'm gonna say tampering with the federal regulations and trying to give more power to the states. He got that done. Now the states are exercising their power, and you trying to flip the script. Again, these are some calls that we got to make to our elected officials on the Hill, because they can get the message to the Supreme Court justices where we might not be able to.
And I'll tell anybody, because I was serving right in D.C. during this. Bush v. Gore was what triggered it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And now with them flipping all of these federal laws, Roe versus Wade.
Now with this shoe is on the other foot.
But yeah, exactly. It's we the people that gotta make the noise to make sure that the right thing happens. Yep. This is on you and me. That's who this is on. So start burning up phones. If you let me see, they still open.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, because somebody's probably saying, "What in the hell are they talking about?" What we're talking about, and I'm gonna give you a little history. I'm gonna keep it brief because I know I get along with it.
It's all right.
Colorado said Mr. Trump cannot be on the ballot because there is a provision buried in our Constitution.
It's the 14th Amendment. Yes, right there.
Section 3 of the 14th Amendment says if you were involved in basically any event that was a challenge to the United States of America and our government, you can never run for president.
Exactly. You can't run for public office, period.
You are barred. Yes. And the states, Colorado, Maine, and a couple of others are using that provision to keep Trump off the ballot. And he's fought them. Now, where does this come from? I always give y'all its history. Y'all know I want you to understand why the laws are in place. Because I don't want anybody to say 14th Amendment, oh hell, that was slavery, that was racism. No. That was passed to keep Jefferson Davis from running for president after the Civil War. And Jefferson Davis was not a black man. And if you know anything about history in the Civil War, you know who Jefferson Davis was. He was the president of the Confederacy and wanted to run after the Civil War to be the president of these United States. And the Congress said not just no, but hell no.
Exactly.
Jefferson Davis was never tried. Never tried for treason. Never tried for leading a war that divided this country. But he was never allowed to run for president.
Exactly.
So Trump's arguments are going to be interesting if anybody argues the history of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment.
Okay.
You don't have to be tried and found guilty of an insurrection.
All you have to do
Participate in it, you out of here.
Aid or comfort, even if you don't. If you give somebody comfort who did participate in it,
You out of here.
you out.
You can't run.
Oops, my earring.
And that's what he's fighting. Colorado said, not here you want. Get out of here.
Yeah, so pay attention to that, folks. That 30 minutes worth of news. And I'm not talking about Fox, Fox and Friends. I'm not talking about that, because that is a propaganda channel. And again, know that there is not a law against lying. Unless you're in a courtroom or the
It's
affidavit.
called perjury.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, I'm so happy with the appellate court that says there is no immunity for being president from being charged.
Oh yeah. Yes,
There's
indeed.
no executive immunity. So if you break the law and commit a crime while you're the president, you can't be tried.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yes. Now I'm just wondering why SCOTUS has to weigh in on all of this.
I don't know if they're gonna weigh in on that one. Nobody in this country is above the law.
Yeah,
I don't see how they wiggle out of that opinion.
Yeah,
because I read that one. That was good.
Yeah. But my thinking is that they're going to try to throw it back to the states. And if they throw it back to the states, it's
Well, this Colorado thing, it's at the states.
Yeah.
And if they throw it back to the states, guess what? He ain't on the ballot.
He ain't on the ballot in a whole bunch of places. Yeah.
And he ain't above the law. So he gonna get tried.
Yeah.
Criminally.
Yes. I would just hope I'm around to see him get cuffed and rolled the hell out. But anyway, we gotta go. We're gonna see you next week, but we're gonna have a full show. So know, trust, and believe that there is a lot of value in the information that we shared. Last week and this week, we zeroed in on Prince George's, we focused on Prince George's County. We need you to zero in. And we have given you the resources, the information, where you can go to find the information. But you can also go to my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@AngelaTaylor4119 to get and hit the live tab. And I encourage you, all these videos that I have, whether in studio or in the home edition, take your kid to the computer. Take a pen and pad to the computer. Because you need to know this stuff. And you need to share this with your friends. Because again, nobody gonna save us but us. So with that, I need you to count your blessings instead of your crosses. Count your gains instead of your losses. Count your joys instead of your woes. Please count your friends instead of your foes. It's my friend. Count your smiles instead of your tears. Count your courage instead of your fears. Count your full years instead of your lean. Please count your kind deeds instead of your mean. Count your health instead of your wealth, and by all means, count on God instead of yourself. Here at We the People, we believe that there is good in the world. And we challenge you to go out there and be the good. This is 821. And
Tanya Sweat.
remember the yellow sticky on your refrigerator. And we are out. See you next week.